that comment, I do want to introduce our current Dean of Extension, Jeff Goodwin, who has been a continued supporter of these efforts.
Well, appreciate that, Noah, and appreciate the invite, gang, for being here today. First, I want to thank the people that work on this group, the people that plan this forum. I know we're all busy, right? And it's appreciated when you step up and make extra things happen like this. So I think it's a good thing. I was wide awake about 2 a.m, wondering what I was going to talk about, and so something dawned on me. We always hear all these big ag issues that we're dealing with, right, in CTAHR. And the thing we've all heard many, many times is the governor's challenge to double food production in the state, right? And if we did that, we would go from a little under 1% of the economy to a little bit of over 1% of the economy. So it's not going to, I always thought, is that really moving the needle real big in the state? I don't know if that's a yes or no answer, but I do know I got to thinking, well, what determines the level of GDP in a state? And guess what? The highest characteristic of that, when I did my searching last night, is you look at size of the states ranked from top to bottom. We're number 47 in size in square miles, right? And we're number 45 in GDP from agriculture in our state. And I thought, wow, it looks like it's highly correlated with the size of the state. And it is. When you look at those two lists side by side, the big dog in that agriculture economy is California for sure. Like 13% of their economy is from ag. It's because they're so big and they got so much large scale agriculture going on there. And then Texas, I think, is around 8%. And then they all drop off. There's a whole lot of states around 5% of their economy. Then all the small states are huddled around 1% or less. And except one exception to that, Alaska's last on the list of economy by ag, and it's the largest state. So it's a very much of an outlier. Throw that one out. So anyway, it just dawned on me that maybe it's a natural thing that we're less than 1% of our economy. It's in line with a lot of other states our size. So with that in mind, I got to thinking, well, what could I say to this group? So I'm going to share a little thing real quickly that I share with people when we talk about controversial or contentious issues related to ag. And I think I can put this down to big issues related to ag. And so all these ag issues we work with in Extension or CTAHR, it's a huge issue, right? So I always use this beach ball. I'll haul this all over the place. And this beach ball's got 3 numbers written on it. And so after we talk with a group about whatever the issue is we're discussing that day, I wait out in the middle of the crowd and put this beach ball on somebody's head. And so I asked the people over here what number they see, and they see a 1. The people on the other side of the room see an 8. People on the other side of the room see a 4. Then I asked the person that's under the beach ball what they see, and they're the closest person in the room to the subject we're talking about, and they can't see a thing. And that's how we get a lot of times. Even on these big issues, we get so focused on one thing, we don't take the time to think about all these other related topics circling around that beach ball, right? And so that's my challenge to this group, is don't get boxed into 1 or 2 perspectives. I call it perspective broadening. And I think that's what we do in Extension a lot, is perspective broadening out there in our educational programs. So I would encourage you to keep trying to broaden that perspective. I think you've got some good missions here to try to address. And these are bigger issues. And like I say, there are a lot of them are connected and related. And we do a good job of trying to address some of these issues. I talk about impacts all the time, and I would just encourage you in this work to try to get to the question of, so what difference did it make? Some of the efforts of this working group, bigger CTAHR, we always got to think about what difference does it make the work that we're doing out there, and being able to share that with people. So that's my charge for the day. And with that, I'm going to turn it back over, and I'll try to stay here most of the day. I've got to step out at 1 for a meeting with Nick, but I'll try to stay in here as long as I can. So appreciate the invite. And it's been my pleasure for the 3 years or so that I've been over here getting to work with the larger CTAHR faculty. And so it's really been a good thing. And I don't know how long I'll be here, probably for another 6 or 8 months. We'll see how long it goes, but whatever the time length, just know that it's been a pleasure to get to know and work with more of you guys. So thank you. Keep it up.